Hello, friends. This is Lowrate Hitman. What I got today is a little drop zone gameplay, as always. I mean, Lord knows I don't play anything else. But anyhow, the other night I had a long gaming session. I don't know, I probably played for 10 hours or something like that. My oldest boy, Sean, he come in. I said, man, can you play a round or two for me, because I don't want to ditch my party, to take a little break. He was like, sure, Dad. So this is his gameplay right here. As you can tell, the setup that he runs is totally different than mine. He's a totally different player than me. He plays for humiliation. That's what I call it. He just wants to humiliate whoever he comes across. That's his goal. That's his thing. As long as he doesn't camp, I raised him better than that. For real, though. I mean, ever since he's a little kid, I'm like, son, don't camp. Please don't camp, And so he's developed a game style of rushing. He doesn't always play the objective. He just runs around and gets kills a lot of times, but he is not a camper by far, And his gameplay is interesting. I was hoping that one day, he would start his own YouTube channel, and he may still do it. He's still tightening up his game a little bit, but his game is on par. I mean, he messes some people up, and you will see. Well, as you can see from the title, what I'm going to talk about today is political advice. And I mean, you're probably saying, oh no, Lowrate, he's going to destroy himself. He's standing on a soapbox. It's over with. But, I might end up surprising you guys with what I have to say. I've been through all these elections that are coming up. I mean, I just want to touch on a few things. But I want to start off by saying, the type of person I am. You guys watch my videos. I mean, Lord knows I'm like an open book. I shouldn't be, but I don't care. I mean, I might have 10, 15 more years left in life and I'll be dead. It doesn't bother me. I mean, life is too short to try and be a secret society type of person. I want to try and share my knowledge, what knowledge I do have. Not saying that, I'm a highly knowledgeable person. I like to use logic in my thought. I think logic tends to overrun everything. That is the key to everything. It's not really knowledge, it's logic. Sometimes knowledge can mess things up. So first I want to start off and tell you guys how I've raised my children. I know you're like, Lowrate, why are you doing this? Because if I tell you this, then it'll kind of give you an idea of what kind of person I am. Okay, my children, I've raised them very strangely. I let them play video games. I let them read whatever books they want to read. Let them listen to any music they want to listen to. I let them watch whatever they want on TV. I know you're like, whoa, that's to the extreme. You can't be letting your kids watch Friday the 13th of this and that. I understand. I fully understand. I mean, raising children is a test. I mean, it's literally a test. I mean, you could think that you're doing something perfectly, and all of a sudden, you've come to find out, it wasn't right, So I've had a very liberal approach when it comes to raising my children. Religion, I've not once made them go to church. I refuse to make them go to any kind of church. I refuse to push any kind of religion down them. I believe in the age of accountability. And what I mean by that is when it comes time for that and they're interested in that, they will discover that. They will find that. It's not like it's hidden from them. It's religion is easily attainable if that's what they want. And I do not push that down their throats. And the reason I bring this up to you guys is because it's apparent I'm from the South, and I believe that there's a big misconception with a lot of people about Southern people. It's just like Northern people, Eastern people, Western people. I mean, people are people, man. It doesn't really matter where you're from. It's a big lie and it's a big misconception. I'm not a big Bible thumper. I'm totally against any forms of racism whatsoever. I am totally strongly against it. I will pop somebody in the mouth. I would pop my own child in the mouth, if I ever heard them say anything slightly or remote racist or even act that way. That's just the type of person I am. And that's about all you ever hear me touch on that subject, because it's not something that I even think about. I know that there's a misconception about Southern people, and I just want to kind of throw that out there, let you know what kind of person I am, before I get on this little soapbox, as it's called. The reason I raise my kids the way that I raise them is because of the way that I was raised. I was pretty much raised the same way, and I don't feel like I turned out to be a bad person. I feel like I've made some bad decisions in life, and I believe that everybody makes bad decisions at one point or another. It's just how severe those decisions are that you make, And that's where my role as a father comes into place. It's the guidance part, helping them make good decisions and teach them good decision-making skills, where I didn't have that as a father figure. My father wasn't around. My mother did the best she could, but sometimes you need that stern father figure in a sense, not to where you're going to whoop somebody's ass, but where you're going to sit down and you're going to have a heart-to-heart with your children, you know. And, you know, sometimes that just wasn't there for me, you know, and I'm not disrespecting my mom whatsoever, you know. I love her, you know. But I guess in my teenage years growing up, I was what you would call an anarchist. You know, I was totally against any government, any political or authority figure whatsoever. The police, the government, anything, any forms of socialism, government, anything. I was an anarchist. I was just against the establishment. I was against the system. And sometimes I still am, you know. I consider myself what people would consider me a conservative. But I think there's a big misconception on what conservatism is. A lot of people think conservatives are Bible thumpers. They're against women's rights. They're racist. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's just so crazy the things that people think of when they actually don't even sit down and try and, you know, talk to somebody. You know, it's like guilt by association. The reason why I am what I am, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat, okay? There's a big difference. When people says that there's not, they really need to study conservatism. Because true conservatism believes in small government. I don't believe that the government should make all the choices in your life. I don't think the government should have the right to make choices for me. I am an adult. I am a free-thinking individual. I don't need somebody else to make decisions for me. I understand whenever there's people that are being harmed or whatnot, the government has to intervene and make decisions for those people. I understand that because there is mean and evil people in this world, and there has to be some kind of a police involved monitoring this. But I think there is a line to be drawn. I think whenever somebody else has total control over your daily activities and the things that you do, that is getting very, very far. One of the main things that I want to ask everybody, regardless of what political party you represent or that you stand behind, please think about things, man. These elections every single 4 years, every time the election comes around, it's about separation. Throwing lines in the ground and making people look bad. That's all it's about, man. That's all it's ever been about. That's the only way that these people can stay in power, whoever it is. It doesn't matter if it's the man that's in power now or the next man or 10 years from now. The only way that they can get into power is by making the next man look bad. They haven't come up with a scheme yet to where they can just get into office and everything be peachy keen. They have not been able to come up with a system or a plan to where, hey, we're going to change this stuff. We've got a solid lockdown plan. All it's about is that office. That's all that person wants is that title. I mean, every election I go through this stuff to where I hear these people just crying and being just ignorant people, man, throwing mud at other people, man. We're all humans, man. I mean, there's not much dignity left, man. I mean, you have to drop your dignity if you're going to stoop as low as to say, oh, just because you're a conservative, you're this, that, this, and that, or just because you're a Democrat, you're this, that, and that, or a liberal, or whatever, man. It's bullshit. That's all it is, plain and simple. I mean, sorry for cussing, you know, but it is what it is. I'm not going to call it roses. I'm going to call it exactly what it is. Me personally, I openly invite, just like I openly invite my children, and I'm not putting anybody down, putting them on a child's level or anything, but learn things on your own. Don't follow the pack, man. Don't follow the leader, man. Step aside for a minute and get educated on things. If you're not too sure about something, ask somebody, and if it don't sound right, keep asking and keep looking for the answer. Google, man, just be very leery of your information. Read books, you know. Come up with your own conclusion on things. Don't live life on biased information, man. Especially don't be bigots, man. Don't bigotry, man. It's the worst thing anybody could be is when you classify somebody and you know nothing about them. You know, it's horrible. It really is. I would do anything for any one of you guys as long as it was in a certain means. You know, I'm not going to give a bunch of money away, you know. And, hey, like I said, I'm a conservative. I'm not a bad person. I try to be a good person. I try to be an upstanding person. I'm not a goody two-shoe, you know. But, you know, the morals that I've acquired in life, you know, is for the better of mankind. It's not for the downfall of anybody, you know. And just don't let this election make you look differently on anybody. I appreciate everybody that stopped by and checked this video out, and please hit me up on Twitter, add me on PS3, and I'm not trying to instigate anything at all. You know, I'm just trying to communicate with my people. I'm I'm not for anybody, man. They're all crooks and they're all liars. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.